Hello, everyone, and welcome to our today's webinar. We are very happy to welcome you to the second webinar we have planned already for this month. For Alina, and I'm an Education USA advisor, and I am so happy that there are so many of you. And just to keep this chat alive, just to know how many of you are with us today and how many of you have questions for today, you should know that we have a chat box. So let us know if you can hear us good, if you can watch us good, maybe if you want some other topics to be discussed in our webinars, we would be happy to know about that. And also, if you're going to have questions related to this webinar or application process, please submit them in the chat box also. So Education USA Virtual, as you know, is a platform that assists students with interesting webinars, articles, and MOOCs. So you can go on our website, browse it, and find out more information we are exactly doing. So there is a QR code on the screen that can help you go straight to our website. And today, as usually, we have interesting topics. Today, we're going to talk about the National Department Office. This office is sometimes very surprising, not surprising, but sometimes it's very not clear what they are exactly doing, because some in the financial office are some of the most important departments of the institution in the US. But you should know that the international department is one that supports the student success at first. So be the people who you're going to reach first when you're going to be interested or you're going to outreach them about your application process. So we invited here a speaker from University of South Alabama, and that's Anastasia Fetcu, and she has prepared for us an interesting presentation. Give us more intro in what international department exactly does. Thank you so much, Anastasia. If you can just give us a short bio about what you are specifically doing and what is going to be what we're going to talk about today.
Hello, thank you everyone, and thank you Alina for the wonderful introduction. And today we're going to be talking about the topic behind the scenes, how the International Department supports student success. And again, my name is Anastasia Fetcu, and I work in the Office of Global Outreach, and we work in conjunction with the International Admission, with the International Assistance Department, just to help our international students before and when they do get admitted. So we'll be going over a couple of details for that. Let me yes. Okay, one moment. The presentation. Okay.
Perfect. We can.
Okay. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is us, the topic, and we're going to go over a bit about the university first and the overview before we go into the topic fully. So this is the overview. We're going to be going over the pre-arrival support, orientation and transition, immigration OPT advising, community and campus engagement, and then we're going to be going over a quick Q&A. So this is us, the University of South Alabama, and we're located actually in Mobile, Alabama. So it's on the Gulf Coast of Mexico. It's about an hour away from Florida, about an hour away from the beach. So it's an international port city. We get a lot of industry partnerships coming in and out. So it's a very top location. I think I'm actually from Moldova. So I was born in Moldova about 13 years ago, and I moved over here. So I think a lot of maybe our Eastern European students are maybe aware of this location in Gulf Shores. I know there's a lot of people that do work in Gulf Shores. So there's a small hub of us Eastern Europeans here. So that's where we're located, and a little bit about our school and our program. So it's a state school. It's a mid-sized public institution. So we have over 160 programs, and then these are some of our top programs and schools. So we have a College of Allied Health. So we have a pre-med program, and then we also have a med school. So that's also very popular with us. And then we have our College of Arts and Sciences. That's more of our humanities major, history, everything like that. College of Business, School of Computing, College of Education and Professional Studies, and then our College of Engineering, which is a popular one as well, College of Nursing. And then this is one that not a lot of people do have or haven't heard of it being common, but because we are located on the water, we have the School of Marine and Environmental Sciences program. So that's amazing. And then you see our College of Business, all of the majors that we have there, and then our School of Computing, College of Engineering. So that's basically our 3 top most popular schools or our most popular programs, and you can see all the courses that we offer in there. And if you guys do happen to have any questions about that, let me know at the end. And then we're going to go over a little bit into the scholarships and the tuition, just so it makes sense for you guys. So all that we need to admit freshmen is a GPA minimum of 2.5. So that would be an average of about 7.5 out of 10. And then, or like a 75 out of 100, if that makes sense. And then we take any testing requirements, so a Duolingo, TOEFL, IELTS, anything that you might send in, we take it, well, from this list. And we're SAT optional, but we do take it for scholarships, and I'll go over that in the next slide. But our tuition and fees, it's about $17,000 per year for tuition. Living is about $8,600. So Alabama does have a lower cost of attendance than other schools, so lower cost of living as well. Health insurance, which you do need, and then books, also an approximation coming out to about $30,000 per year. And then this is a little about our tuition for our freshmen. So if you do take the SAT with this GPA amount, you can get up to $10,000. So it's about half off of your tuition. And then if you don't take the SAT, it's also completely fine. We take your SAT and GPA, and you can get up to $4,000. So we're going to go over into the pre-arrival support that our international department offers. So support starts as soon as students are admitted. So all students will receive an orientation invitation and then 6 key info emails covering orientation, passport program registration, so how to sign up for your health insurance, how to sign up for housing information and the requirements that you need, and then tuition payments and advising, how to set up the payment wall, and then how to pay from abroad. I know that's a big contention with everybody, how do I pay from abroad? And there's different types of ways that we can set that up. And then arrival and mobile phone setup, so making sure you have data when you come here, or like a cellular, just a way to connect with us beforehand. And then emails are sent once or twice a month leading up to August. So we make sure you have everything that you need before coming in. And if you do have any questions, there is a one-on-one help offer. So we're with you throughout the whole step. So there is that. And then we have some pre-arrival challenges. The most common ones are housing confusion. A lot of people are confused. Oh, do I live on campus? Do I live off campus? So we have meetings available throughout, this period before you get in this, before you actually arrive, where we can set out, figure out any kind of confusion that you have. So there is that. And then let's move into the next. So orientation and transition. So whenever you arrive on campus, you have your big orientation day. And typically it is like the first week or the second week of whenever school starts. And I know like one orientation is too much. So we try to break it up within 3 days. So it will be the first day orientation where you get on campus and you get to meet your peers, get to meet, the international admission workers that you've been in contact with. So you get to see everybody. And then we basically break off into groups, just so it's not everybody at once. We do campus tours, and then we do different types of group activities. And then there is academic support. So there's the presentation slide, like an academic presentation that teaches you everything about the university, what to do, how to sign up for everything. And then there's the fun stuff again, like the campus tours and the group activities. And I'll go over, a little bit about our campus and then the group activities that we do. So this is a little bit about our campus highlights. So It's very green. The campus is very spread out and typical American, as I say. We have our football stadium here, Molten Tower, and then that classical brick red that you see in campuses. And then this is obviously my favorite season, as you can tell, spring. It's very beautiful. There's lots of flowers everywhere. So, my favorite season. And then the group activities that we will do, or that international students do when they arrive, we have a big meeting with the president of the university where people will introduce themselves and say where they're from. And that's when they kind of split off into groups, and then they do different fun things like painting tote bags or I'm not sure, painting tote bags, meeting the other university workers, and just getting good food, and getting along with everybody. So there is that. And then let's move into the next one. So continued transition support goes throughout the entire year. So ESL assistance, if anybody's struggling, with English, we have extra classes that one can take just to make sure they have everything brushed up. So that's a possibility there. There's also one-on-one support for those struggling academically or socially. So you can always set up a meeting with any of our staff to make sure that we go over any questions or problems you might have, just to make sure we sort that out before anything. And then we have immigration OPT advising. This also is throughout the year. So F1 advising basics. This can happen before you arrive. So if you have any questions about your F1, what to do, and then as you come on campus, there's meetings and information that you get about maintaining status, travel, and work eligibility. And then throughout the year, we have OPT and CPT application help. So what we do is we have job fairs on campus, and this is something that everybody can join. And as you guys know, F1 students cannot work on off campus, but they can work on campus. So we have our university attend, and they will present the jobs that they have available for our international students. So that's an amazing opportunity there. And then there's job fairs that come throughout the year or later throughout the year that are available for OPT and CPT opportunities. So there is that. And then we have career services. So they typically help you with interviews and resume building. So it's a department that we have on campus, and you can reach out to them and they'll help you write your resume, get you ready for on the job opportunities. And then we have throughout the year 3 to 5 immigration workshops held each semester. So if you do have any questions, you can jump in and we can help you with that. And then the next one is our community and campus engagement. And I think this is probably the most important one. So being involved throughout the year, you can really build a sense of community, and showing up to any events or showing up to one event can really get you, can get you a sense of a community. So we try to keep that up. We try to keep up all these events going out throughout the year. So we have our most important ones going on through the fall semester. So as you guys know, America has these like big football games, American football, and it's a very huge event, like every Sunday, Saturday. So we set up these cultural tailgates at every home football game. So we will set up like little booths or little tarps, and we have food, we have games, so and everybody just comes by before the game, and it's lots of fun. And then we have Diwali celebration, decor, and South Asian cuisine, and then Latin themed events throughout the year. So just kind of celebrating different kinds of communities and ethnicities here and there, just celebrating our students from all over the world. And then we have our spring semester highlights. So we have Ramadan, and this is what the Muslim Association calls fastathon, and then Eid dinner. So very interesting there. And then we have Holi, the festival of colors, and then we also celebrate the Southeast Asian New Year. very interesting. Same with the Chinese, Vietnamese New Year. And then we have, this is a little bit from our side. So we have the Mardi Gras king cake tasting. So if you guys don't know, you might know New Orleans, you might be familiar with that place, but we always say we were the inventors of Mardi Gras. So it's like a big carnival that everybody goes to. And then we have our annual Mobile International Festival, and a lot of our international students will attend that and just, show off their cultural background. And we place a lot of pride on that as well. So emphasis on cultural pride, like I was saying, and learning across backgrounds. And then I'll go over a couple of pictures that shows the events. So this is the event highlights. This is the cultural tailgates. So we have different tailgates. People bring like food from that's relevant to their country. And then we have this for Diwali, so the beautiful colors that you see here. And then this is the, I believe that was orientation, where people can come in and get t-shirts, tote bags, just different swag and things like that. And then we have our event highlight for spring. So the Holi, the Festival of Colors, is always super fun. The Indian Student Association makes it really fun. You can win different prizes. We have Indian food that we have. And then this is the Nepali New Year, so the Southeast Asian New Year. It's lots of fun. And then this is a international cultural festival that we have every year. And this is the King Cake tasting event that I was talking about. And then we have different campus partnerships that it's not the international department, but it's we work in conjunction with them. Just so it's kind of laid back. It's a little bit more laid back than just an office situation. So we have that available. It's student-led club affiliated with the national network. So we have Friends of Internationals, and students can join, and we have faculty can join, and it's just different ways of getting you connected to your peers and then your advisors and mentors as well. So they organize casual outings and bonding activities, and you'll see on the next slide, but we do have weekend beach trips and then local farm visits. That's something fun that they do as well. And then we have faith-based organizations as well. So Baptist campus ministries, they set up different spring retreats, camp weekends. So they have like a camp weekend where you stay for a couple of days in like I think you guys know camp. They go canoeing, they go camping, hiking, things like that, just to get everybody to bond. And then we have a yearly conference that connects international students across Alabama universities. So that's an amazing opportunity where if you attend, you can meet different students from, let's say, UA, so University of Alabama, Auburn University, different things like that, just to see people from all over the state here. And then let me go next. So this is the event example. So this is the beach trip that they had not too long ago. And then this is the battleship tour that they did. And then you can see here the different events that are marketed throughout the year. And then everybody can join, or anybody can join. And it's lots of fun every single time. And then this is how to stay connected. So we have the Global Gazette. So it goes out every week. You get it through your email, and then it's also on Instagram. So if you have any questions, or if you have any single event that you'd really like to join, there's an opportunity here to do so. And then we have our Instagram and social media. It's a good way to get involved as well. And then we have in-person info sessions and peer outreach. That's another extra thing that we have for our students. So this is our Q&A session, so we can go over any questions that we might have.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Anastasia. I really loved the picture part. I think that's very engaging, and our students would have a better understanding how a campus would look like. Definitely not all of them would look the same, but I think here is a good example on how, and I just want to mention here that a lot of things that you have somehow specified for your university relates to all the international departments, to almost all institutions in the US. So that's a good thing. Okay, so we have the questions that we've got in advance from the students, and we'll start with the first one. And that's, are there any mentoring programs or orientation events specifically for international students?
So there's the main one that we do have, which went over a little bit, but we have one big one, and every single international student has to attend. And it's just, they have the academic front part of it where they go over how to log into their Canvas, which is how they get their homework done, how to navigate on campus, and just the academic side of it. And then they have the campus tour, and then the different group activities that they do. And we also have a big event where organizations from campus come in, and they, let's say, essentially set up a little booth, and they market their organization. So it can be anywhere from like the Muslim Student Association to the Indian Student Association to like political clubs or history clubs, just anything on campus. And our international students get kind of like a view of that, and they can join if they'd like. So that's a good way of getting them, acclimated in the beginning.
And we know that usually international department are organizing also some virtual fairs or some virtual orientations before the students would arrive on campus.
Yes.
If you can just also talk about that.
Yes. Before they do arrive on campus, there is a certain workshop that we have for them to get any questions that they might have answered. So we will have those for our admitted students before they arrive.
And basically, one of the questions that would also be very interesting to the students, and they get very confused about that. So we know that someone from the international department would outreach them eventually when they would get accepted, and they will also get the assistance with the I-20 form, with the SEVIS, and with all the visa process. And they were wondering sometimes if there is a specific person from the international department, a counselor or an advisor, that will be assigned to them. And if you can just tell us more also about that would be very helpful, I think.
We don't have anybody specifically assigned for international students, but we do have one person that is specifically in charge of international advising or immigration advising. So that person deals with any questions that they might have about F1, I-20, anything like that. So she typically does hold some workshops throughout the year, but if they do have any questions, they can obviously schedule a meeting with her, and she's got her schedule up, and it's very accessible to get to her.
The next question, the next one, what is exactly meant under international department support for students? I think you already kind of described that, but we can say that shortly.
So what is exactly meant under international department support? So it's just making sure that the students know that they have somebody that they can reach out to at any moment. So having a support system there just before they arrive, just before they have a community, just having like a net safety system for them, I think kind of is a good blanket statement of that.
Thank you. The next one, how International Students Office might help with the visa application process?
So I know sometimes typically it's quite challenging, or it can be wordy, and then there's terms that international students might not understand. That's when our immigration advisor comes in and helps us like simplify the process, or helps the students simplify the process, and reassures them and walks them through step by step of the entire process. But we make it pretty easy as well. So.
Okay. Totally makes sense. The next question that we got in the chat is from Rayo. Are there any sport matches at university?
Good question. So I don't believe I went over everything about the university, but we are actually a D1 school. So we have 17 D1 teams, both women's and men's. So we have D1 football. We're actually number 2 in our region. So it gets pretty crazy throughout the year. So the football matches, and then we have basketball that goes on in the spring. So that's another very exciting thing. and then just small things going out throughout the year like baseball, softball, track meetups, and it's anybody can join as well, and it's very entertaining, very good to watch. But I would say our biggest one is our football team, our football stadium.
Awesome. D1 is a Division 1,
Yes,
right?
Division.
So just to
Yeah.
just to clarify that, great. The next question, can we get a 100% scholarship?
So
You've mentioned something about that.
I did go over the scholarships a little bit, but it's not a full scholarship. I believe a lot of universities don't actually offer full scholarships for international students, so it's just a 50% scholarship that will cover your tuition essentially. But who knows? Maybe in the future sometime, but no, not yet.
Yes. And you were actually mentioning there in the slide where you mentioned the scholarships that those that will take SAT test, they will get a higher scholarship. Is that right? Depending on the score.
Yes.
Okay. But is it in the same time for your institution a test optional or
It
not?
is test optional, so they take the SAT only if they wish to get a higher scholarship. So it is a scaling. Um, it is scaled. So if you get a higher one, you get a higher scholarship. And then if you don't submit your SATs, if you don't take them at all, it's no issue. We take your GPA and English proficiency, and you're automatically awarded up to 4,000 based on your GPA.
Awesome, thank you. The next question, hey, I would like to ask about the choosing alternates part. How do the program organizers choose which alternate has to become a finalist? I'm just wondering about what program.
So I think this kind of sounds like a Fulbright, but it doesn't work like that with us.
Yes, totally not with Education USA because it's not a program that we run. But in case if that's related to Fulbright, maybe it's better to relate to the U.S. Embassy you have in your country. Otherwise, you can just give us more details on your question so we can just understand it better.
That's it.
The next question is from Zarifa. How could we write our motivational letter to make it successful?
Good question.
If you can just share something, maybe here.
So we actually don't require like a resume or essays for our international students. We just make it really easy. All we need is the GPA, the English proficiency, and then your transcripts, of course. So that's your grades. And we don't typically require essays. But if you do apply through the Common App, they might ask you for essays, resume, but it's just not something that we do.
Yes, normally the motivational letter is not going to be required. You would just have to fill out your Common App. I mean, depending on the program that you are applying. If you are applying for a postgraduate degree, then there is this also the personal statement. So there are more details you should consider. I can just advise you to refer to your Education USA advisor. I think that's going to be more efficient. The next one, will the university support in our lessons, which we are most interested in?
Yes, so good question as well. So that goes into picking your major and picking what you want to do. We do have an advisor that is assigned to you. So that they help you with picking out your classes. So you have a choice in what classes to take. If you're like, I don't want to take the hardest chemistry class ever, you don't have to. We can work within your schedule to pick which you're most interested in or what will work with your schedule going down the line, and how to efficiently pick your classes to graduate within 4 years. So yes, you can pick the ones that you're most interested in with the help of your advisor.
Awesome. So I think we covered almost all the questions. If you will guys have others in the future, you can also write an email either to Anastasia or write an email to us or to your Education USA advisor if you need more assistance on that. So I think we'll wrap up here. Thank you so much, Anastasia, for the presentation and for your help. Okay, so there is one more question. Two more. Okay, from Mariam. How can we calculate our GPA if we have a different grading system? Actually, that was answered in the last webinar if you didn't have a chance to attend it. But also Anastasia, if she wants to answer this one, it's going to be helpful.
Yeah, of course. Good question as well. So you can do both. You can calculate it yourself. just to have a semblance of what your GPA is. But you also don't have to. Whenever you submit your transcript, which is your grades from high school, we have a person that translates those grades for you. But a good measure is basically a 2.5, or a 2.0 is a 7 out of 10. So just thinking of it like that as a scale, a 9 point, like let's say it's out of 10, like a 9 out of 10 is a 4.0, if that makes sense. So that's the highest grade that you can have. And then a 3.0 is about an average of an 80 or an 8 out of 10. Does that make sense?
I think totally. I can also suggest you the GPA calculator. That's the easiest way.
Yes.
I mean, that's for you. But yes, there are a lot of systems and a lot of apps in internet that can
Yeah.
just give you more understanding on how to calculate your GPA.
Mhm.
The question, okay, the question from the lady that was asking about the program. So the program I'm participating is Flex. There are 8 alternates in my country, including me, and there are 5 finalists that wrote their rejection letter. Can all alternates become finalists? So I think we will not really give you a lot of information on Flex, because it's not something that we are running. Education USA is something different. So we are helping you with your undergraduate or postgraduate studies. But Flex, I think you should just refer to the office, to the American Council's office that is in your country running Flex. So they will give you more information on that. So I think we're done. Oh no, we have one more. They checked how motivated international students.
I don't
I'm
know.
not sure. Yes, what was exactly the question, Parvani? If you maybe how to motivate international students. I'm not really sure what you wanted to ask here. If you can, yes, if you can just I don't know if we have time to answer to this one.
You guys can. I'm not sure if maybe I can give out my email.
Yes.
I can type it in, and I
Yes,
don't
you
know.
can submit that in the chat. I'm more than sure that the students will use the opportunity to reach you and give you more questions. Other than that, I am very grateful to all those who have watched us today. There is a survey that we would love you to fill out, just to hear your thoughts about the webinars, about the topics that you want us to do. And thankful and grateful to Anastasia, to her experience, to her time. Thank you so much once again. And
Thank
to
you
you
so
guys,
much.
I wish you a great day.
Thank you so much, Alina, and thank you everybody for joining. Thank you so much.
Thank you.